During my 2.5 years serving as President Trump's press secretary, I traveled on every single one of his foreign trips. The most unforgettable was December 25th of 2018. And I'm sure some of you, as I'm starting this story, think you've heard it before, but just wait until the end. My husband Brian and I had just cleaned up the wrapping paper left around the house by our 3 kids when I had to walk out on my own family's Christmas. I couldn't tell them where I was going because the place I was traveling to was so dangerous. They didn't want anyone to know that the president would be on the ground, even for a few hours. We boarded Air Force One in complete and total darkness. There were no lights on the plane. There were no lights on the runway. We were going completely off the grid. The only light that you could see was coming from about a mile away of where we had touched down. And the reason there was light in that location, because it was a dining hall packed with hundreds of US troops gathered thinking they were having dinner with senior military leadership from around the region. They had absolutely no idea that the president and the first lady were about to walk into that room. One of the young soldiers yelled from the back. He said, "Mr. President, I re-enlisted in the military because of you." And the president said, "And son, I'm here because of you." As the president made his way around that room, that same young soldier came up to me and he said, "Hey, Sarah, you have a tough job." I told him what I do is nothing. I take questions. You take bombs and bullets. That is a tough job. And then in a moment that I know I will cherish forever, that soldier reached up and he pulled the Brave Rifles patch off of his shoulder and he placed it into my hand. He said, "Sarah, we are in this together." I couldn't say anything, so I just hugged him, thankful for the heroes who keep us free. That moment changed my life in ways I'm still seeing nearly 7 years later. I've told that story hundreds of times over many years, but I've never publicly shared the next part. That young soldier's name is Dustin Singer.
My name is Dustin Singer. I'm the project lead for Home Base Arkansas. I'm a medically retired Army veteran. I served for a little under 15 years. I deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan, all over the Middle East in support of the global war on terror.
My retelling of our meeting in Iraq reached Dustin when he returned back to the States, and he reached out to me. He shared how he and his wife had settled in Virginia and that he was now raising 2 young kids. We talked about everything that had happened in both of our lives since that first meeting. And as we were wrapping our call, he says my next question caught him off guard. I asked, "Have you ever thought about moving to Arkansas?" Dustin had never even been to Arkansas, and certainly never considered it a place he'd call home. But I knew he was a hard worker and was the exact type of person we wanted to recruit to our state. So on January 19th of 2025, Dustin officially left the Army. And on January 25th, 2025, he officially started his job at the Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs.
I'm not one to talk bad about other places or other people, but living in Arkansas is different. My kids can play in the backyard. My kids can, if they get out of the stroller at a Walmart, I know someone's gonna help me get them. People are friendly here. People make a meaningful impact on each other's lives here. And you didn't have that in the town in Virginia that I lived in. The school system wasn't there. There was a lot of crime. It was rampant everywhere. And that's not the way Arkansas is. You know, for a lot of reasons that people talk about, you know, progressive cities, we're kind of the 90s here. People are friendly. People say hi to you. People smile at you. And people want to be friends with you here.
And while it's not standing on the battlefield, the work he is doing now is life-changing for his fellow servicemen and women. He personally talks to dozens and dozens of veterans a week, telling them all the reasons they should move to Arkansas like he did. He helps them when they exit the service, find a job and a home, and build a great life right here in his new home state of Arkansas.
When you're talking about building a life, you're talking about opportunity, and veterans are go, go, go people. So a veteran wants to work, a veteran wants that American dream, a veteran wants that ability to continue to serve. When I got out, it was, I need to find that next step in my life, and I needed help. I needed someone to kind of tell me, hey, this is what you need to be doing. What I do with Home Base Arkansas is I'm that all-inclusive transition package. Hey, you're gonna come here, we're gonna put you to work, we're gonna help you find a place to live, and we're gonna help you find a meaningful impact in your community. The stanzas of the Soldier's Creed is, I'll never leave a fallen comrade. That's what my service means to me here. I'm able to find other veterans and make a meaningful impact on them and show them that, hey, the American dream's alive in Arkansas, and you're gonna be a part of it here.
I can think of nobody better to move or work here than those who have worn our nation's uniform. In just 1 year, the program that he helps run has become so successful that we're expanding it to help even more of our great veterans call Arkansas home.
I'm deeply honored every day that I get to live here. I get to work for the Department of Veterans Affairs and make an impact. I'm thankful that I get to be here and I get to continue to serve and have this be the conclusion of that story.
Our nation has unfortunately lost more than 150,000 veterans to suicide since 9/11. That's more than 10 times the number killed in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the war on terror combined. That's unacceptable. And in Arkansas, we're fixing it. We're standing with our veterans and we're empowering them with a new mission and a new sense of purpose, thanks to the great work of heroes like Dustin. Dustin and Mason are here with us today. And as governor, I proudly say to you both, welcome home. We are forever grateful for your selfless, heroic service to our nation. Thank you.